How is that character the brains of the operation? How is there an operation? They literally like, hey, you wanna watch this thing? I don't think we should. All right, let's watch it. That's not brains at this. Literally just like haphazardly making a decision. That's how your mom sends you cat videos. What's up, you guys? We just watched the most recent horror flick, Slender Man, based on the creepypasta from the interwebs. Right now, critics hate it. Audiences kinda hate it. Like, they like it slightly more. But we're gonna read Bill Goody Coon's review. That is hard to say and keep a straight face. So we're gonna read his review, and then we're gonna make fun of him. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you can get notified every single time we have a new video. I'm reading this for the first time with you. Let's make fun of this guy. Well, Goody Koontz is funny because it makes me think of Dean Koontz, and this is a horror movie, and like he's like a super fanboy of Dean Koontz, and like no other horror is gonna live up to the Koontz name. It's like, oh great, a review from Stefan Kingsley. Fuck, I'm never gonna live up to that guy's expectations. Oh man, Wesley Cravenston, Cliff Borker. Slender Man bravely goes against the well-established notion that scary movies should be scary. Haha. You should just end it there. I didn't think it was scary, and now I'm done. But then you don't get paid, especially if you get paid by the word. Maybe by the letter, if you're getting like $10 a letter, but you're not. It's a bold move, and an unintentional one. So it's unintentional for him to make a scary movie that's not scary. Fair point. Stupid point, but fair. Director Sylvain White is plugging away with the jump scares and the moody atmosphere and the found footage, doing everything he can to frighten the audience, but he and screenwriter David Birke can't come up with anything particularly compelling about the title character, the subject of viral urban legend and creepy stories, as well as the inspiration for real-life crime among teenage girls. I had to say so many names in that it felt like you were name dropping, but like, I know you weren't. It's so funny to be like, you tried everything, man. You tried found footage stuff. Like, yeah. I mean, if you go onto the interwebs, there are all of those things. There's found footage things, there's Photoshop things, there's stories, there's even a documentary about the real life crime that you were talking about, which is actually terrifying because it was real. So it makes sense to put all those things in the movie. Whether or not it worked, that's kind of a different story. But to comment on whether or not he should have, I feel like he should have. Yeah, he probably should have done that. Maybe. It's like, hey, this basketball game has too many basketballs, baskets, and sneakers. It seemed like you were trying to force a basketball game on us. No, those are kind of the elements you need for a basketball game. Whether or not it was a good game, not necessarily the story. It focuses on 4 girls: Ren, Joey King, Hallie, Juliet. Wow, name dropping again. Stop name dropping. You think you're so cool? All right, we'll just skip the girls' names. When we first meet them, they're doing dopey high school things, flirting with boys. So dopey. Planning a big night out and spending it downing secret vodka. Secret vodka. That's what happens when you soak a tampon in the vodka and then you... And messing around online, those crazy teensters. The guys they like are elsewhere, which is why they're talking about them. If they were there, they'd be talking to them. Interesting how that works. Like thinking about secret vodka instead of drinking it or absorbing it, depending on what you're doing. Supposedly they are going to summon Slender Man. Hallie, the brains of the operation, has never heard of him. The brains of the operation? How is that character the brains of the operation? How is there an operation? They literally like, hey, you wanna watch this thing? I don't think we should. All right, let's watch it. That's not brains at this. Literally just like haphazardly making a decision while they're hanging out and having a freaking sleepover. That's how your mom sends you cat videos. I like how I almost said that like Dennis Miller. That's how your mom sends you cat videos, okay, babe?
That was for Brian Regan.
Who sounds exactly like Dennis Miller.
It was also like, what's his name? Bill Maher.
Who also sounds similar to Dennis Miller. Watch Dennis Miller and realize that they're all just really bad impressions of Dennis Miller. Hallie, the brains of the operation, has never heard of him, but after the briefest of explanations, the other girls convince her to play along and try to summon him too. The next thing you know, wait, Hallie's the brains of the operation, but she has to be convinced? Is that what he just said? She's just smarter than them? So there's no operation, she just happens to be a little smarter, but they still have to tell her, like, what they're doing. Let's move on. The next thing you know, the girls suffer nightmares in which they see Slender Man. And then, on a field trip to the cemetery, Piper goes missing. Dun, dun, dun. Her friends are naturally upset, as is Piper's alcoholic father, who breaks into Hallie's house and menaces her drunkenly, demanding to know where his daughter is. Her friends were upset. And so was her alcoholic father. That's why he showed up at the house. Then other things happened. And that's the movie. Like, yeah, it's how you review a book on Reading Rainbow. I just read a book called The Dinosaur and the Dragon. If you like dinosaurs and dragons and the word "and" put in between dinosaur and dragon, then you'll love the book Dinosaur and Dragon, but don't take my word for it. So presumably the parents are also upset, although they play about as big a role in the film as adults do in a Charlie Brown special. No trumpet-like voice sounds though, cause we didn't understand that correlation until you explained your own joke. Thanks. Wait, what did you mean by the Charlie Brown adult? That's really annoying. It's because it's written, that's why. He's like, I couldn't make the sound. I couldn't be like, wah, 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 so you'd understand. It's like when you're texting a girl and you're like, hey, come over right now. And she's like, should I come over right now? And you're like, yeah, I wasn't joking. I actually texted that. Like, you didn't see the weird little winky smiley face or the this face or the that face. Sometimes an eggplant just means I want some Parmesan. This leads to internet research and really bad decision making on the part of just about everyone, even Hallie. But internet research and bad decision making is literally all we do. So, it's realistic. It's all we do. Also, the brains of the operation is making all the poor decisions. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning going through Amazon. No, you do not need that. You definitely don't need a toothbrush that's also a sponge. Actually, maybe I do. That's genius. If your secret vodka so you can get fucked up while you're brushing. I have the whitest of teeth until I throw up. Everyone's acting weird and seeing things, and they think, thanks to an anonymous person on the internet, the only way they can get Chloe back is to go out in the woods and summon Slender Man again, and to take and destroy things they love. I think it's funny that you're pointing out that it's like, oh, some anonymous person from the internet. This entire thing was built by anonymous people on the internet. I feel like we should move on because that's really dumb. Like, incredibly stupid. And for the first time in history, advice someone gets on the internet turns out to not be sound. Oh, you're being sardonic. Sardonic is another word for making a pointless sentence so you get paid. But the movie is a big disappointment because ultimately, Slender Man does not get the full-on creep-out treatment such an intriguing character deserves. Here, he's just a generic horror bad guy doing standard horror bad guy things. He could be anything, really, and therefore winds up, like the movie, being not much. I understand that there's a lot to the lore, but there isn't that much to the character. So I feel like their treatment of the character was kind of fine. It was more the treatment of the lore that you might not have liked. It is kind of just a generic bad guy. It takes people. Sometimes it kills them. It's scary. It shows up. And it's slender. I just don't like the fact that this movie's skinny shaming. Yeah. That's bad. That's the real horror. This is also me currently dieting, like being very jealous of Slender Man. I'll never get there because he's also tall. And that didn't happen for me. Nope. See. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you guys think of this movie and this review? Also, we'd love to hear what movie you think we should do next. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. Click one of the videos on the screen to see another one from us, and until we see you next time, geek out and game on.